الصبح بدا من طلعته والليل دجى من وفرته الله الله
Brother Kabir was mentioning about book learning. Of course, in Islam, we always emphasize that travel as far to China, from cradle to grave, etc., etc. But there is also, as was mentioned this morning, there is an innate knowledge within us. You know, ilm is the second most used word in the Quran after Allah. There is this divine ilm in us from God. It is grounded in the Quran. When God asked the angels to bow to humanity, and all except one did. And God said, I have placed upon humanity, bestowed upon humanity the names of all things. The problem is, according to spiritual mystics, that we can sometimes get too lopsided, too stuck in our heads. The same poem that Brother Kabir was reading, there's a verse somewhere there, that's another one that says that, you know, sometimes too much of this book learning can lead to unnecessary, subtle discussions. And the Rumi says, doing that, you're like a bird that ties a snare around its leg and unties it. Then makes it more complex, unties it again. Makes it even more complex and unties it to show off its strange skill. Forgetting the point is to escape. Rumi says, how you've forgotten how it feels to sail the mountain air and smell the sweetness of the open country. But for us to be able to tap into this astonishing gift God has given us, to every single human being, we have to do what the Quran asks us, to transform our nafs. Brother Allawi mentioned the 3 stages. Transform the nafs. And as the Quran says, open for me my heart. Bring to God a sound heart, as the Quran says, a heart that can respond. That's a lot of work. We call it, in our community, the inconvenient work, actually. Then there is the astonishing epiphany that when you start this work, you open into love. Actually, you awaken into a very profound, exquisite longing that also is cosmically encoded in us. And God gathered the unborn humanity and said, am I not your sustainer? And humanity was so excited, said, yes, yes, we testify. So it is cosmically encoded in us, this longing. And this is expressed not only in Islam, but many religions. We have this ache, this thirst, this depression. There's something I want, but what is it I want? Is it sex? Is it food? Is it money? Is it power? Prestige? Every tradition says, go for it. It's something deeper. Rumi, as you know, says, there is a kiss we want all our lives. A touch of spirit on the body. That wonderful, beloved female saint, Rabia, 8th, 9th century, there is a disease in my breast. No doctor can cure. Only union with the friend can cure that. There's a beautiful Sufi story of Allah who once came down besides these birds. In those days, it is mythologically said, birds had no wings. Birds were wingless. And God spoke to the birds. And the birds were so entranced, so enchanted by this voice of God. And of course, God then vanished, went away. But such was the increased necessity to hear one more time the voice of God, to feel the presence of God, that out of increased necessity, they sprouted wings. And today you see them always flying up and down, up and down. It is said mythologically, searching for God to hear God's voice one more time. This is the power of longing. But again, it involves that inconvenient work. Transforming the ego and opening up the heart. So the truth is, we as humans, we do not volunteer for such work. And what comes in the way, the great teachers have told us, are two veils. The veil of health and the veil of wealth. And all other veils are subsets of those. When my health is good, health of my family, or I have wealth, not just financial security, emotional security also. All this talk about prayers, fasting, meditation, transforming the nafs, opening up the heart, is, not only very irrelevant, but as I said, very, very inconvenient. But should one of those veils shatter, and I mean shatter, because human beings are not mindful. I have cancer, or someone in my family has cancer, or in the stock market you lose everything, or in my case my parents died, both of them in the space of 20 days, loss of emotional security. Suddenly, deeper questions. Suddenly my intelligence, even for a short time, increases. Deeper questions. Who am I? Where did I come from? What is my purpose in life? Then all those wonderful words that I parrot all the time, where Allah says, I was a secret treasure and I longed to be known. Or the Quran says, say, my life, my prayers, my living, my dying, my sacrifice are all for you, my sustainer. Or the advice of Prophet Muhammad, which was mentioned this morning, know thyself and you shall know thy sustainer, thy Lord, or die before you die. Suddenly those words, they have a greater meaning. And we become seekers. We get on the path.